Hello and welcome everyone to another one of my mindful conversations. I'm here because you have given me amazing value, everybody that watches my podcast, the wonderful feedback about all these beautiful guests that I have on. So thank you everyone for watching and continuing to watch. Now, who do I have here? You're going to love what Daniella has to share with you today. Of course, as myself being a mindful health, wellness, fitness expert, self-care coach, I love having guests on here that really speak and from authentic heart about that same powerful message about realizing how important you are, about really focusing on yourself, realizing your own self-worth. And Daniella, so she's going to talk about all this wonderful message she has to share with you today as well. You're wondering, how did I meet Daniella? Well, it's interesting because, as you know, I seek out other women out there in the profession that really speak to my heart as well. And I found Daniella on social media and Instagram, and I've been watching her. It's like, oh, I got to have Daniella on one of my guests. She really comes from an intuitive heart. So that's what caught me too, because everyone, you all know that I'm very intuitive as well. And it began back when Daniella started sensing these energies all around her, but not really knowing what it was about. Kind of ignoring it, she went into studying law, became international for service firms for over 14 years, but then really started listening to her heart and got into pranic healing. And she found that was a tool for growth and healing that she really needed at a point. She'll talk about all that more. Daniella really focuses on your well-being, the awareness, art therapy, how the creativity that comes out, and really transforming your strengths that you have inside and have a hard time releasing and listening to that authentic heart. So Daniella, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so excited about you sharing your expertise, sharing, what you really speak about, full passion, full-hearted. So Daniella, can you please authentically, as always, because it's amazing, every message you share on Instagram and other things, you just say it like it is and speak from the heart. And that's why I say authentically, because everything you talk about, everything you share is amazing. So please welcome, and can you introduce and let us know who you are, please, Daniella?
Thank you. Thank you so much for this warm welcome. I'm very happy to be here too. Very honored to have this conversation with you.
Thank you.
And yeah, about myself, I'm originally from Switzerland, but my life journey led me to actually leave Switzerland a couple of years ago. And I'm now living in Mallorca, which is the Mediterranean island off the coast of Barcelona. And it's been one of my really dreams, actually, I've been in love with the island for 30 years. And I really found a home here. I really feel like I belong. I live in a beautiful house, and yeah, so that was in that sense, finding a home in myself and in the world. That was kind of the end of that journey.
Yeah.
And I worked a lot in HR and human resources, in leadership development, transformational leadership. I worked with graduates, so I did a lot of coaching in there. And then when I left my company, I started to dive more into the art therapy and the pranic healing, because that for me was just so different, and I needed that shift.
Yeah.
And really landing in my heart again.
Nice.
And then a couple of years ago, I actually realized, well, the coaching with the energy management and the creativity is a very powerful tool. So I actually started to combine the two. That's where I'm at now. So I really, my goal is really to help people to live more from the heart, make decisions from the heart, show up courageously in their life. That's a big topic that I've been working on just the last couple of weeks. And then supporting that energetically, with cleansing, with letting go of some old patterns. And I just realized the two together just make a very powerful tool for transformation. So
nice, wonderful.
yeah.
And I love how you said that it's landing from your heart and that creativity. And you mentioned the art therapy, and I believe you go on, because some people have a hard time especially women, getting there. And often when all of a sudden they're in this relaxed state of being able to let go, you have a retreat that you find. Do you find that when women go on this retreat with you, do you find all of a sudden that's when that shift starts to happen, where they're just able to let go? Like,
Yeah.
how do you find that in your expertise, in what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. I find that exactly like that. And I like to integrate a little bit of yoga and a little bit of, or meditation as well as a tool, or just breathing
Yeah.
as a tool to kind of like relax and distress, and also land in the body again, because I realized what I said before, like in my work, I was so much in my head,
Yeah.
like running, doing.
Yeah.
And then just that time to, okay. And that's why I like the creativity as well. So I think it's in that moment when you're more relaxed. I think it's also when you hear your voice of inspiration and intuition more, when you kind of are in a more relaxed and receptive state. Yeah.
Yeah. You really hit it when you said we're always in a state of go, 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 and we're forgetting to just stop and breathe, right? I love how you mentioned that, because people, women, of course, I'm going to always say women in particular, because that's who we resonate with.
Yeah.
And that's who the main audience is, that we're in such a state of going, 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 going. We never slow down. And then, we get stressed and we're forgetting to breathe, and it, raises all these health issues. But the fact is, where you're just saying, just breathe
Mhm.
and relax and take that moment. I always say too, like, it just takes like 3 deep breaths. Do you
Yeah.
find as well, when the women start to acknowledge that, do they tend to realize when they're stressed more, and when they say like, whoa, okay, wait, I need to breathe here? Like, do you find that transition really starts to happen, and they
Yeah.
start to continue to do that in their life?
Absolutely. And I think, I don't know if it's specific to women, but I realize that in a lot of the women that I work with, that there's almost like a guilt around taking that time. And it's like, no, it's okay. You're allowed to like slow down and just take your breath and really reconnect with your heart as well. And I think we're much more powerful and we're much more intuitive for it when we do that and we take that moment. But I also know the reality of it. I even now, I sometimes I forget, and sometimes I rush, and it's like, oh, okay, I have to remind myself, of course, to take my own medicine.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah.
so true, right? It's so
Yeah.
true. I just had a day like that the other day, where I felt really like crap at the end of the
Yeah.
day, because it's like you said, you get so into that moment that you're forgetting, and then you realize it. It's like, wow, this is why
Mhm.
you practice that breathing and become in tune, because if not, recognizing that, stepping away, you just, whoa, you feel not good at the end of the day. And Daniella, what allows you to continue with this practice, with what you do? How is that passion coming through, and how does that passion allow you to continue to do what you do to help, create that amazing shift in women?
Um, I think it's also based on my own story.
Hmm.
So my leaving of the corporate world wasn't an easy transition.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had 3 accidents within 5 months, and I was really pulled out of that whole environment. And I wasn't able, because of some complications and
Hmm.
everything. Then my mom got sick with cancer and she passed away. So it's all kind of, it was really 2 years that were really quite tough for me.
Yeah.
But it led me to where I am today.
Hmm.
So I also have that passion for saying, maybe you don't have to go through as much pain as I did.
Hmm. Yeah.
You embrace some changes before, but then even if you do, something beautiful can come out of it. And it is a learning experience, as sometimes we don't like to hear it that way, but
Yeah.
I think it is. So
Yeah.
I'm really passionate of helping women to go through that process and really see it. There is a life outside of what you thought is possible. There are so many different life paths that are open to us. We have the ability to choose
Hmm.
what we want to do with our lives, and I think we've been told that we don't.
Hmm.
So just opening up that possibility again. Oh, and it's really opening. I really feel passionate about that. It's like it's not, we're shown some life paths and
Hmm.
some definitions of success, and I just think the world is so much bigger. There's so much more possibilities. And I really like that, the fact of empowering women to follow their heart, even though it may sound completely crazy. I mean, even when I moved here, people thought I was crazy. Like, what are you going to do in Mallorca? It's a nice place
Yeah,
to go on holidays, but what are you going to do living
yeah,
there? I just knew that was the place for me to be, and things
yeah,
have been falling into place and
yeah,
flowing ever since I did.
yeah.
So I think that gives me power to keep going.
Yeah. And
Um,
do you agree, Daniela, that you mentioned too that I'm going to say from a corporate world, a lot of women are in this corporate world or in a, profession where they're just like, I want to be here. Um, and they want to make that shift and change, but find it's hard to. And do you agree that, it's taking those baby steps, like, okay, you are where you feel you need to be right now, even though you don't want to be, but you can take that time each day to focus on who you are and take the importance of the baby steps. Do you find that's really important as part of the journey where a woman feels she can't walk away right now, but to really acknowledge and give herself the self-worth to acknowledge that, okay, baby steps are important and don't, write them off. But when you take those baby steps, it gets you closer to where you really want to be.
mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think wherever you are in your life, I also try to encourage the women that I work with to say, look, there's a reason why you're there.
Hmm.
And actually, I think like a more heart-centered,
Yeah.
heart-led leadership is actually really needed
Yeah.
in that environment as well, especially. So there's a lot of good that you can do for yourself and for your environment. And I think for me, it all goes back to the heart. I think that heart-centered leadership is very, very important, whether that's in a corporate setting, in your own business, in a family, as a mother, as a parent, as a partner. I think it goes into all areas of our lives.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
for me, it's just, I realized that for me it was important to take that step eventually out of that setting, but it might not be for everyone. So, and that's also completely, completely wonderful.
Yeah. And it's kind of like the universe sends us messages, whether we listen or not. And when we don't listen, it sends it harder. So, you mentioned that you went through these like these life experiences, which I'll say was a journey. And some people might feel that as negative, but sometimes it's when we get hit hard, it's
Mhm.
where we realize, okay, it happened for a reason. I need to really listen. So that the fact that you took that and say, okay, I need to take this message that's being sent to me hard, and you turned it around and said, okay, I need to, look after myself and feel what's always been in my heart and
Mhm.
not continue on this journey. So I love how you allowed yourself to open up that. And again, going back to what you believe in, that heart-centeredness. So that, that is a wonderful story that you shared, because I'm sure there's other women out there that are feeling exactly the same, because I hear it from women. I talk to women and, and tell, we talk and I say, take the baby steps, and well, I can't, but the fact that you did it, I think is so powerful. You sharing that emotion, that message that you can do it. It's allowing yourself to do it, allowing you to open that door without keeping it locked shut and never opened, right?
Well,
So
for me, the signs were quite obvious.
yeah, yeah. And it is, it is I always say too, that something that can be a tragedy is actually a way of opening doors.
And for me, it was also a process of surrendering on one
Mm,
hand,
yeah.
but then really also going back. I really had a time where I also worked with a coach myself, and I really went back to thinking about values and needs. And it actually really led me to see, okay, I was really not living
Hmm.
to my core values. I wasn't able to do that, or I had lost sight of that, or I always loved working with people.
Hmm.
And there I was, working with Excel sheets and producing PowerPoint presentations that then
Yeah.
never saw the light of day.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
moved quite far away from who I actually really was. And I think
Right.
that was then the corrective measure. And then I think I also, what really helped me, because I was stuck in the why for a while, like, why is it happening?
Yeah.
Why is it happening to me? Why is it happening now?
Yeah.
Why is it happening 3 times?
Yeah.
And I really had to move away from that. And my mantra became, I want something beautiful to come out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And really more towards what can I learn from this situation? Where is it guiding me if I allow that process to happen? And I also say it's not an easy process. I know that, sometimes it's surrendering and just going with that. It can be very scary. It's very vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
talking
Yeah.
about that. So for
Yeah.
me, the courage was just to allow to follow that.
Exactly, right? The question, why this, why is happening to me, it kept you stuck.
It keeps you
But
stuck.
when you opened yourself to, I want this, is like, oh, okay, there's a shift. I want. Okay, the universe is hearing that. Now
Yeah.
I'm hearing that. So
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful. Now, the audience that's listening today, even though I'm shared underneath here, they want to know, how can they reach you, Daniela? So please let us know, how can people find you? Where can they find you? How can they reach you?
So I have my own website. It's Daniella-s.com. That's my main portal. I'm also on Facebook with the same Daniella S. Mallorca, and the same for Instagram, Daniella S. Mallorca. So
Nice.
that's
Nice.
my
Lovely.
main channels. I'm also on LinkedIn with my full name, Daniela Schoch, which is a little bit difficult for all the non-German speaking people to pronounce.
And everyone knows, right? I'm German, so yeah. That's why I say Daniela versus Daniela. I have a hard time saying it in English. And I'm just going to throw it in there too, ladies. You're make time for yourself, as Daniela states. And if you're wondering where, well, we always like going somewhere warm, so you can go see her in Mallorca. Now, Daniela, I always ask 3 questions of all my guests. So I'm going to ask the same questions of you, because we want to find a little about, we know about Daniela, her passion, her expertise, but let's see a personal side of her. So what is a quote that you absolutely love and feel that you live by?
Yeah. My favorite quote at the moment is from Brené Brown, and it is, integrity is choosing courage over comfort.
Wow, that's deep.
And
Nice.
I think that's just, and I think we need that integrity today. We need to be courageous, and I think in the small little things in life, when it comes to relationship, to connecting with people, when it comes to parenting, or as we show up in our business or in everyday life, I think it's really doing what is right over what is comfortable or easy.
Yeah.
And I think the world needs more of that. So
Oh, definitely, right? It's listening to this in our gut, not this so
exactly.
much.
And just be courageous, like go up to a stranger and say hello. If you like someone, tell them you like them.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you,
Yeah,
yeah,
like don't be afraid. I mean, I'll go, up to people, and then my kids are teenagers, so I'll give someone a compliment. They're like, they just light up, right? And the kids are like, "Oh, mom," I'm like, "Oh, am I embarrassing you? That's okay." But guess what? I just made this person's day.
exactly.
Yeah.
I would do
Right?
that.
Yeah. Or the simple thing, holding a door open for somebody. Like, who does that now? And when they do, it's like, wow, thank you. Well, you're welcome. So
Or
yeah.
acknowledging the barista that makes your coffee in the morning, saying, thank you. I
Yeah.
really appreciate
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah. Because if they weren't there making it, who's going to make it for you? Right?
My day would look much worse without coffee. So
Oh gosh. Now, number 1 advice. What's the number 1 advice you can share with our listeners today, Daniela?
I think it goes to what we actually just said. Be courageous, and I think really allow yourself to be vulnerable, because I think the heart knows that vulnerability is actually a strength, and I think it is. And making that first step and being open about how you feel and expressing your feelings, not be afraid to cry in public when that's how you feel, then let it out, and nurture that authentic self within you. I think that's the best thing you can do for yourself, and actually really also for the world. As cheesy that might sound, but I think it's really true. It all starts with yourself, and if you're a happy person, if you're emotionally connected, you're going to be Yeah, you're going to be a little ray of sunshine
Yeah.
that makes the day for other people.
Yeah, oh
So
my gosh, it's so true. It's so true. Someone said to me the other day, because we do karate, and our Shihan said, "Oh, Tanya's all smiley today," and I said, "Of course." And then one of the other karate members said, "Tanya's always happy and smiling." It's like, thank you so much. So what you just said is so true, right? It's so true.
yeah.
Last question, my
Yeah.
favorite. Daniela, if this was the last day of your life, other than your family, what is one thing that you are grateful for?
I think I'm really grateful for where I am today, and grateful that I was able to come out of these really quite dark times for me, and really grateful for the life that I've built here for myself, and of course all the part people, my cats, my house,
Yeah,
being able to walk, take the car, be at the beach in 20 minutes, and then of course also being able to share that and really inspire. I think that for me goes with my purpose as well. I really feel like it's my passion and it's my purpose, and if I can make a difference in the life of one person, I'm very grateful. I'm very humbled by that as well. I'm very grateful that
nice, nice,
made it.
nice. Sounds definitely like grateful for simple things in life, right? Having a roof over
Yeah,
your head,
yeah,
right? Having your
yeah,
pets to share love with,
yeah.
being surrounded, like having the sun. So very simple things. I love that because I feel that, I speak of the same thing about being grateful and loving life, and it's the simple things. And I find that a lot of times people forget
Mhm.
that we need to love the simple things. You can go broader than that, but I feel it starts to love what's around you. So I love how you feel that same powerful message about in sharing that today. So thank you so much, Daniela, for being my guest on my Mindful Conversations podcast. I love what you talked about. I love about just how your heart shines and sings, and you have this like positive energy about you, and like I can feel it being on the other side of the world. And to be in your presence, I'm sure that energy is even stronger. So thank you for sharing that. I value your time and sharing your expertise. And listeners, as you know, be grateful for every day. And as you go to bed this evening, think about the best thing that happened, because no matter how awful or negative your day may have felt, there's always something positive, whether the sun shone, whether, yes, it's raining out here as well in Southern Ontario, but you know what? Rain is life. Rain washes away and brings about new life. So again, go to bed with the best thing that happened. And when you wake up in the morning, feel gratitude. Think about 3 to 5 things you're grateful for, whether you think about them, send them out to the universe that way, or whether you write them down. This is Tanya Otterstein-Liehs, empowering health, wellness, fitness coach, self-care expert, wishing you a beautiful day. And thank you very much for being here. Have a great one, everyone. Bye-bye.